Sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Majority Leader. Mr. President, we respectfully submit for the body's consideration the fiscal year 2026 proposed new appropriations of the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development and its attached agencies and corporation amounting to 6.4 billion pesos. And the breakdown is as follows. For the Office of the Secretary, 1.4 billion pesos. For Human Settlements Adjudication Commission, 526 million pesos. For the National Housing Authority, 4.3 billion pesos. For the Social Housing Finance Corporation, 166 million pesos. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, before I recognize our first interpreter, I just want to recognize my guests from Bukidnon, Mr. President, that they're here now. Our mayor from my hometown of Maramag, Bukidnon, together with the other LG officials that are here.
We welcome your guests to the Senate.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the first to interpret the measure is our distinguished colleague, Senator Jingo Estrada.
Senator Jingo Estrada is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I will just dwell on two topics. First is the Monterrasas de Cebu project, Mr. President. Mr. President, the DNR has formed a joint inspection and investigation regarding the Monterrasas de Cebu project amid complaints and concerns that the ambitious project contributed to the unprecedented flooding in the city of Cebu, particularly in the Guadalupe area. The DNR also issued a notice of violations and a stoppage order last November 12, while the Cebu City government has launched a separate investigation. My question is, when did the DSUD issue the certificate of registration and license to sell to the developer behind the Monterrasas de Cebu project?
Thank you, Mr. President, for that question. I thank you, and I thank Senator Jinggoy for those queries. The issuance of the certificate of registration came in multiple times. The first one was given on 2008, and then the second one was 2009. The following one on 2024. And the last one was 2025 this year.
Okay. May I know what violations will trigger the suspension of the certificate of registration and license to sell of the developer in this case?
So, Mr. President, the certificate of registration has multiple prerequisites. So, one ground for the certificate of registration to be canceled is the cancellation of its ECC. Another ground, if the building permit is also canceled or revoked, then it can also be a ground to cancel its certificate of registration. So, there are multiple grounds that can be used in order to cancel the certificate of registration, because there are different prerequisites that allows the certificate of registration to be issued.
Right. By the way, Mr. Sponsor, who is the developer of this project?
Mr. President, I was advised by the DSUD team that the original proponent was Landco, and then eventually a company called Gen V bought out Landco.
Who is the owner? Do you know the owner?
Mr. President, the developer is Gen V Agro-Industrial Development Corporation. Let me just get the directors and stockholders of the company.
Just submit it.
If you allow, the department can just submit it,
All
Mr.
right.
President. Thank you.
Since the DNR already issued notice of violations, can the DSUD suspend or revoke the license to sell?
Well, Mr. President, the current situation right now is, like you mentioned, the DNR is investigating the possible environmental transgressions. The local government as well is also doing its own investigation. But as long as those documents still stand and are still valid, the ECC, the Sanggunian resolutions, the building permits, the department will not revoke the certificate of registration.
Correct. Well, Mr. President, in your view, is it still proper for Monterasas to continue selling their properties even though there are ongoing investigations left and right?
But, Mr. President, because there's no official communication from DNR as well as local governments in relation to their violations, their certificate of registration still stands, so meaning they can still sell their units and their products, Mr. President. But as soon as there are adverse findings and their ECC will be revoked or the local governments will revoke their permits, then the certificate of registration will also be affected, and they will be instructed to cease the selling of their products.
Okay, since ito bang DSUD, hindi ba sila gumagawa ng kanilang internal investigation with regard to this project?
Actually, the division, Mr. President, the DSUD is regulating on the selling portion or the commercial aspect of the project, Mr. President, while the DNR is regulating the environmental aspect of the project. Of course, the LGU has much more broader powers. It's general welfare of the constituency. So as long as there is no official communication from the DNR and from the LGU on the violations, the commercial aspect or the regulation of the commercial aspect will still stand.
Yes, I was informed that the city government of Cebu is against this project since, is my information correct?
Yeah, well, Mr. President, from the information I gathered from DSUD, there's a permit, a valid permit from the local government. And you're also once a mayor.
The local government.
The local government. This type of projects cannot proceed without a valid sanggunian resolution.
But the provincial government, I think, is against against this project since it contributed to the flooding of Cebu City itself.
Well, as I understand it, the project is located inside Cebu City, and it's the Cebu City local government who should be regulating and supervising this project.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Sponsor. Let's go to the second topic on government housing projects. Initially, under the Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino, the 4PH program, the government aims to build 1 million houses per year, totaling 6 million units by the end of President Marcos' term. But the target has since been revised, and the DSUD was quoted as saying that it aims to construct 3.2 million housing units before President Marcos steps down in 2028. My question is, as we speak, how many housing units have been constructed since the start of the Marcos administration?
Yeah, Mr. President, for the direct housing, it's 113,000 housing provisions. And for the indirect housing, it's 314,000. So a total of 428,000.
Only? So hindi natin mamimit yung target before the term of President Marcos ends?
Well, the target, Mr. President, is 1.1 million by 2028. So meron po hong balancing 705,000.
Kasi ang usapan
Yung tall order, challenging ho talaga,
the
actually.
government aims to build 1 million houses per year, totaling 6 million units by the end of the term of President Marcos.
Well, you're correct, Mr. President. They had to revise their targets. I think 1 million is very ambitious, Mr. President, and they have to be realistic with the budgetary constraint.
Ano yung niloloko natin taong bayan? Bakit sinabi 1 million per year?
Yes.
So right now, as we speak, how many? How many houses? 400? 400,000 plus pa lang.
Well, Mr. President, we all know that we have a new leader, a new secretary in the Department of Housing, and after his analysis and consultation with stakeholders, the 1 million per year seems like it was a very big challenge.
So what is the revised, how many housing units per year? Or yung target before the end of the term of President Marcos in 2028?
About 200,000 per year, Mr. President. That's the target. So, ang target po nila, by the end of the term of the President, they would have constructed at least 705,000 units to complete the 1.1 705,000 to complete.
705,000 units.
From 1 million a year, ang naging target is 1 million in the next 3 years. No?
So sa 6 na taon ni Pangulong Marcos, 700,000 lang.
Hindi. Magiging 1.1 million.
1.1 million.
Yes, Mr.
Pero ang
President.
pangako nung una, 1 million a year.
Yes, Mr.
Pero
President.
ginawa 1 million sa 6 years.
Yes, Mr. President. In short, tama ho kayo.
Okay. Where are these housing projects located, if I may ask? Is it all over the country?
It's all over the country, Mr. President, but primarily in the high-density areas like Region 3, NCR, and Region 4A.
Are these climate resilient housing units?
Yes, Mr. President, these should, before they build, they make sure that the area is suitable for habitation, and they also make sure that they have mitigating measures to mitigate the effects of, let's say, heavy rainfall or natural geographic contours of the area. Kung may mga ilog ho doon, they also make sure that they have mitigating projects to mitigate the effects of those riverways, Mr. President.
Okay. May I know how much is allocated under the 2026 budget for the housing projects, Mr. Sponsor?